there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is a messenger of Allah. In this video, we will discuss the concept of microservice and how you can scale your service due to the incoming traffic, and based on the number of requests we need to increase the performance of our application and also increase the availability and decrease the latency, make the response faster. All of this we can handle by scaling the service and managing the traffic. Okay, in this service it's a voucher pool, and I have already implemented it using NodeJS and MongoDB. I assumed there is authentication layer. Why I'm assume something like that? Because I wanted to focus on this service to like highlight some points and very important points in the related to the performance level and also the deployment level. Okay, in this service, as I mentioned, I have already assumed that there is authentication layer. You can implement this layer using any authentication method or way. You can use JWT with Node.js or any other way. Okay, now let's start our application. I wanted to prove the concept of authentication. This is authentication middleware, and once we visit this URL, yes, yeah, and trying to this API, it's for get all vouchers in the system. If you try to access this API, it's working fine. You can collect and also fetch all vouchers exist in the system. No issue in that. Okay. Once we change this to false, okay, this means that you are not authorized to access this API. Now let's try again. Try to access the same API. What will be happening now? Yeah, you are not allowed to access this endpoint and unauthorized 401. It's okay. Okay, make it true again. True. And we will restart the server. Okay, good. It appears here there is 2 customers and 1 offers. This data it's already added from here. It's CD script, okay, for adding predefined data in the system. Okay, for this service, this is the database design. Yeah, this is customer schema. It contains ID, name, email, created at, updated at, and this is offer schema, ID, title, description, terms of use, and the discount amount. And this is the voucher. The voucher code, is this voucher used or not, customer ID, offer ID, validity of this, when this voucher used, okay, and for expire at, this is the validity of voucher itself. All that in this design, its number saved as a millisecond in the database to make the process easy, and also for formatting also. Okay, good. Now this is the database design. Okay, the first API here, it's vouchers API. It's you can access and fetch all of vouchers exist in the system, and you can also use this API to fetch vouchers related to specific customer based on the customer ID. Okay, here, yes, This is the vouchers related to this customer. Good. And as administrator, you are able to also generate voucher for a specific customer. Now, this is the offer ID customer and validity of this voucher code. Now, it's 5 days. 5 days. Okay. This number it's converted in the backend side to millisecond. Okay. Now let's execute this API. Yes, this is the voucher code for this customer. Good. Okay. There is another API. It's redeem API. You can enter the customer ID and the voucher code. Voucher code. This is the last one that we have generated. Okay, as you can see, success true, and you have already got this discount. Okay, this is if you this API, it's one time voucher code. If you try to access again, invalid voucher. We also need to test the validity of voucher itself. We can make this number like 0001. Okay, add one more 0. Okay, and this is the voucher code. We will wait for some seconds. Good. Okay, here we will try to use this expire voucher. As you can see, this voucher expire because this number it's multiplied, okay, by 24 hours and 60 minutes, 60 second, then 1000 millisecond. Okay. Finally, it may be equivalent to 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, good. So this is the voucher pool service. Now let's talk about another thing related to the deployment. We have already implement some test cases related to this service. I have already used this super test for testing the endpoints and also for testing the business logic part. So to run this npm run test watch. Yeah, good. It's okay. Now all of this test is bust. Okay, good. This is for testing part. Okay, now let's back again to the main topic, microservice. Okay, for this, suppose there is a scenario. There is like what White Friday. So the number of users that use this service, it's extremely increased, and also number of requests increased. So finally the voucher service, this service received many requests, and this may cause some of crashes, maybe downtime will be happened. Okay, at least there is a delay or latency in the response. So to solve all of these problems, okay, we need to scale up our service. As you can see here, this is the deployment part. I have already created 2 server or 2 instance from this service, okay, with a load balancer between this service, which allow allow us to manage traffic, manage the incoming requests. The default load balancing technique or mechanism that used here, it's round robin. There is many other also strategies. You can select the suitable strategy based on your application, like least connection and other mechanisms. Okay, so finally we have already initiating two instances from this service, two servers here and here. This is our two servers, voucher 2 and voucher 1. The first one is it's running on port 5000, second server or second instance run on 5001, and this is our load balancer. Okay, let's try cd deployment docker compose up -d. Okay, and here localhost 8080. Yeah, as you can see, this request is maybe redirected to this service. Okay, after refresh, maybe it's redirected to this server. After another refresh, maybe redirected here. And the balancing, as I mentioned before, it's based on the load balancing technique. Okay, good. So if we try to fetch this API, what will be happened here? Why it's taking long time like that? Docker bs-all, all of this is up. I think maybe this is due to the DB URL. Okay, no problem. For what? Yeah, this is the incoming response from the server side. Now let's try again accessing this API. What will be happening? Yeah, as I mentioned, maybe it's related to the database, because the database I have already hosted it on the cloud in a free area. Okay, good for this API. So as I mentioned before, I have already created two servers. One is running on 5000, this, and the other one is running on 5001. Okay, so this is the concept of scaling and also load balancing. There is also something come to my mind now. Okay, it's related to security, but I don't already implemented in the back end side. I'm not implemented it yet, but let us discuss this. This is the redeem API. Okay, maybe some users trying to accessing this API. Okay, adding like a brute force. He's already changed the code and click on redeem to get the discount. Click again. Okay, the verification of voucher itself, it's done on the back end side, and the voucher code it's saved in the database, and also it's one time use, expire during to amount of time given. All of this it's handled and processed in the back end side. But if there is some users trying to entering different code and click on redeem. So for me as a server, this is useless traffic, useless request. So how can I handle something like that? managing something like that. Okay, we can, this is in the level of security, we can use something, we can use rate limit Node.js. Yes, this API. Yeah. Okay, here you can add the number of requests and the time slot. For maybe 10 minutes it's allowed for this IP, only 10 requests for this API, for accessing this API. Okay, so once he is already reached to the maximum number of requests to access this API, it will be logged from the server side. So in this case, we also manage the traffic and also secure our APIs. Okay, but I'm not implemented this part in the code. It's coming for my mind when I discussing this application, but it's okay. Thanks for watching.